Ignition running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Good evening. Welcome. 9 after the hour. I'm Erick Erickson here on WSB. This is Atlanta's Evening News. The phone number, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We're trying something somewhat unusual tonight, streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/EW Erickson. We'll see how that goes. In any event, North Korea appears to have a nuclear weapon. It is worth going back to the 1990s and playing this audio from Bill Clinton, who structured the original deal with North Korea.
Before I take your questions, I'd like to say just a word about the framework with North Korea that Ambassador Gallucci signed this morning. This is a good deal for the United States. North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program. South Korea and our other allies will be better protected. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons.
Sounds just like the Iranian deal, doesn't it? Sounds like, I'm sorry, I'm going to tweet that. Sounds like the Iranian deal, doesn't it? Yes, I suspect. I mean, listen, the reason North Korea is getting nuclear weapons has nothing to do with Donald Trump and everything to do with Bill Clinton and George W. Bush and their failure to take seriously the threat from North Korea. The North Koreans have been advancing nuclear weapons all along. Everyone knew they were advancing it, and everyone, including Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama, wanted multilateral talks. They wanted China at the table. Well, now we've reached a point where, guess what? It looks like North Korea has a nuclear weapon. Now, of course, today the left is rushing out blaming Donald Trump. It is Donald Trump's fault that North Korea has a nuclear weapon, according to the left. Nonsense. That is absolute nonsense. They had not suddenly discovered how to build a nuclear weapon in the last 6 months. They've been working on it all through the Obama administration, the Bush administration, and the Clinton administration. They have lied repeatedly. They have broken their word repeatedly. And this, by the way, is what the Iranians are doing. This is another reason why we should have never gone down the road of the Iranian deal that Barack Obama put in place. Because they're going to be next. They're going to get a nuclear weapon. They've been working with the North Koreans. It's going to happen. And now we've got an actual threat from an unstable regime. You know, we like to think that other world players, including Iran and North Korea, are rational actors, and North Korea is not a rational actor. The North Koreans are a paranoid hermit state. They do not interact well with the outside world. They covet South Korea. They're still technically in a state of war with South Korea, which, guess what, doesn't have nuclear weapons. And it appears North Korea is on the verge of being able to put a nuke inside a missile. Now, the left is having a conniption fit about President Trump's statement. They're having a conniption fit about the president's words that we will essentially wipe out North Korea. That direct words, there is a small chance that our horrendous leaders. Oh, this is from This is from Donald Trump talking about Barack Obama. Be prepared. There's a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III. That's him talking about Barack Obama. Well, now people are circulating that about Donald Trump because of his statement today about fire. We will rain down fire on North Korea if they keep threatening us. Not if they attack us, but if they keep threatening us. Folks, I personally think that the North Koreans need to understand that there's a new sheriff in town. And unlike Barack Obama, he doesn't wear mom jeans and he's not going to play around. Now, let's take a quick time out and check traffic with Doug Turnbull.
Lots going on, Eric. 513 WSB. We've had the DOT blocking 3 right lanes, trying to drag a big rig out of the way. 285 eastbound, the interloop, right at I-85. You are jammed still back to Chamblee Dunwoody Road with this, and behind it there's been a vehicle fire. That's gone now. 285 east at 400. The interloop stays slow. 285 east and south, all the way around past Highway 78. Your outer loop ride is almost an hour. 285 west and south from 400 around to the airport where it's raining. And I've just been over 78 eastbound. It jams before I-285. There's a crash in the left lane at Hugh Howell and one off to the right in the backup at Memorial Drive, Eric.
Thank you, sir. Folks, this is a dangerous situation with an unstable, unpredictable regime. And for years now in the United States of America, for years now, The left has portrayed the right as warmongering, and the left has portrayed themselves as the only people who can bring peace on earth. And what do we have? Nuclear proliferation with the North Koreans, thanks to the policies of the left in this country. And now we got Donald Trump in the White House, a man who is not going to play around with the North Koreans. And he surrounded himself with generals. General Mattis, General Kelly is his chief of staff. We've got H.R. McMaster in as National Security Advisor. These are men who have been to war, and they do not want to go to war again. But they will do what it takes to prevent the North Koreans from being able to destabilize the world. And here's what's going to happen. You know it, and I know it. The North Koreans will trade with bad people, including ISIS, including Al-Qaeda. They'll sell them a nuclear weapon. North Korea would love to see a nuclear bomb go off in the United States. As long as their fingerprints aren't on it, they'll sell one to ISIS. They'll sell one to Al-Qaeda. They would. They absolutely would. Don't believe otherwise. And then they would say they didn't do it. They would deny it. That's the problem we have here with North Korea. That's why North Korea can't have nuclear weapons. There is a strain of people on the left, Barack Obama was one of them, who viewed all countries as equal. The United States was no better. The United States was in some ways worse. All countries think they're the last best hope for mankind. All countries think they're special. All countries think they're divinely installed. All countries think this is what Barack Obama thinks. And as a result, all countries can have nuclear weapons, and all countries will be rational, and no country will actually use nuclear weapons. I don't buy that for a minute. There are some countries ruled by monsters. Monsters are real, and so is evil. And we are the last best hope for mankind. We are the shining city on the hill. We are the country that has to stand up and lead the world, because no one else has a moral right to lead the world. No one else is a country founded on ideas. Every other country is founded on geography. We are Americans because we chose to be Americans. We are Americans because we chose to rebel from our former masters and set up a new nation in a new way with a written constitution that sets us apart to this day from everyone else. And after World War II, the world was restructured in the face of communism and Nazism and fascism to put the United States in charge, because we were founded on a democratic Republican principle that transcended all of those terrible ideologies into one that was premised on freedom and liberty in the world. That's why we were put in charge after World War II. It had nothing to do with us being the winner. It had nothing to do with us being the strongest. It had to do with France and everyone else being wiped out because of repeated wars throughout history. And here comes the new young kid on the block who has a completely different way of doing things, who has a completely different way of seeing things, who has a completely different idea of how the world should work. And it turned out our idea was better than their idea. And we have in the last 20, 30 years allowed into power in this country a group of people who are ashamed of that ideal. That idea that all men really are created equal. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among these life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And instead the left engages in what about us? What about slavery? What about women's rights? What about gay rights? What about all of these things? Well, you get to live in this country. In other countries, you get killed. We're still better than those other countries. But this naivete that we were no better or worse than anyone else has led us down a path where a madman now has a nuclear weapon, and the United States is going to have to act. We will act now, or we will act when an American city becomes radioactive. And it's not Donald Trump's fault. But now it's a mess that other people made, and you can be sure Donald Trump is going to be the one to probably clean up the mess. And if you're on the left and you don't like that, you should think about all of the things that led us to the point where Donald Trump is president, because a lot of that is on you. And you may not like it. You may not think it's fair. You may think he's a madman. You may think he's completely unstable. You may think he's not fit for office. But you, by virtue of abdicated American responsibility in the world and at home, set up the conditions by which he became president. And he will now have to clean up your mess, whether you like it or not.
Erick Erickson and Atlanta's Evening News.
Who is that guy? I love him.
The information you need and the truth you demand every night on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Atlanta's Evening News is sponsored by Comcast Business.
At 519 Doug Turnbull in the Skycopter travel advisory. I just sent it out the air. New triple team traffic alert. Tab 78 eastbound Hugh Howell Road. The left lane blocked there and a crash in the back of that Memorial Drive. It's going to take you 25 minutes to go north Druid Hills out to East Park Place. Lawrenceville Highway and Memorial Drive are your alternates. I see all lanes are open now at the Interloop 285 East and Buford Highway. Traffic is cooked all the way back to Georgia 400. 85 north. The jam really starts about Shallowford, Chamblee, Tucker. Stays up to Indian Trail. More delays. Old Peachtree almost all the way up to Hamilton Mill Road with your typical backups out 316 eastbound through Lawrenceville. Veronica Rell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
And for her to northbound, pack it in before 285, then close to 40 minutes to travel from 285 out to Windward Parkway in Alpharetta. Slow going spots from McFarland to Pilgrim Mill in Forsyth County, and brake lights start for her to southbound at Mansell, Northwest. Joe Nelson.
Traffic Trooper Brandon told us about a new 3-car crash over on the right shoulder, 75 northbound at the North Loop, delays back to Delk Road, and 575 northbound still slow and go from 75 up past Bells Ferry. Add an extra 6 minutes to your trip time there. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
Why do we call it? Why do we call it?
$100 to $400 on the Sleep Number 360 smart bed. Find your nearest Sleep Number store at sleepnumber.com or stop by great locations like inside North Point Mall and at Cumming across from Target. And please tell them Scott Slade sent you.
At 525, Doug Turnbull, WSB. Got to tell you again, 78 eastbound is a no-go zone. Not until the police and Hero can get this crash out of the left lane. They were not on scene, by the way. 78 east at New Howell. When we saw it, you are jammed almost solid back toward North Druid Hills Road, Memorial Drive, Lawrenceville Highway. Those are your alternates. Could get ugly quickly in Henry County. Alex Williams, Cool Rick, Erick Erickson Traffic Center.
Yeah, I got a new crash on the WSB Jam Cam. It's 75 southbound before Hudson Bridge Road. Left lane blocked. You're slowing back to 675. Before you get there, you're already going to be slow from 285 down past Forest Park. 85 southbound sluggish on the wet roads, leaving 285 in spots down towards Highway 74. Doug?
Slow in spots as well. 20 westbound starting before MLK out toward Fulton Industrial Boulevard. And DeKalb 20 east is heavy out to Moreland Avenue. And then again, 285 out toward Panola. We're going to en route to trouble that's blocking 92 and Due West Road in Paulding County. More on that in minutes. Triple D traffic every 6 minutes. WSB.
26 after the hour, I'm Erick Erickson. This is Atlanta's Evening News on WSB. The phone number is 404-872-0750 or nationwide 1-800-WSB-TALK. We're doing YouTube streaming today. I have no idea why, but I just decided I would try it at youtube.com/EW Erickson. You can also get me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at EW Erickson. And as always, if you want to sign up for the daily email I send out, you can do so by texting WSB to 444-999. That's text WSB, the letters, no spaces between them, WSB to 444-999, and you'll get back a request for your email address, and we will subscribe you. This North Korean situation, I've got some audio from Donald Trump with Tim Russert back in the 1990s, 1999 to be exact, about what he would do with North Korea. When we come back, I want to play you the audio. We don't have enough time for this clip, given the size of it. I want to be able to digest this clip with you of North Korea. I also want to get into the social justice warriors at Google. They have fired James D'Amato, I believe his name is, Damore. James Damore. They fired him for daring to express his opinion in writing at Google. Now, I have read his memo at Google. They've called it anti-diversity. They've called it sexist. CNN tweeted out a headline today declaring he had been fired for saying women were not biologically cut out to be in technology. None of that is actually true. I have read his memo. I have read it from front to back. He says nothing of the sort. Tonight, I want to go through parts of his memo with you and show you this is all about the totalitarianism of the left, where right think and wrong think are the priorities. And right think, even if it's anti-science, even if it goes against reality, if it goes against everything in the world, including common sense, it's still of greater use to the left than wrong think.
30.
Even if wrong think is actually correct. When we come back, I want to break that. It's just some amazing quotes from his memo you'd never know he said based on how the media has covered this activity. But first, Donald Trump, in his own words from 1999 on
15.
What he would do about the North Koreans should they work towards a nuclear weapon.
10.
We've had the privilege of helping more Metro Atlanta area families sell their homes over the past year than any other time since I've been in real estate. And I've been in business for over 20 years. Hi, I'm Mark Spain, and we've sold thousands of WSB listeners' homes from all over Metro Atlanta. From Alpharetta to Stockbridge, Douglasville to Conyers, and everywhere in between. So no matter where you live, we can help you get your home sold. I've talked to so many people who've tried to save money on their real estate transaction, but it ended up costing them thousands of dollars in the long run. We can help you get what you want. Your home sold quickly and for the most money. It just makes sense. months. Over 11,000 clients and counting have trusted us to sell their home, giving us the highest client satisfaction rating in the industry. Our system is so solid that if we don't sell your home at a price and a timeline that we agree to, I'll buy it for cash. Call us 770-886-9000, markspain.com. Your home sold, guaranteed.
Certain restrictions apply.
This is Atlanta's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic. News 95.5 and AM 750. WSB. Atlanta's news starts now.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. I'm Chris Chandler, live from the WSB 24-hour news center. Glenn Campbell has died this afternoon. We'll look back on his long life in just a moment. First, the story of the day. It's a serious international story. If North Korea does not stop threatening the United States,
they will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
President Trump this afternoon, after word U.S. intelligence has concluded that North Korea has successfully built a nuclear warhead that's small enough to fit onto a ballistic missile. That is a first, and as we know, the latest missile tests have apparently been successful. Retired Army Major and military analyst Mike Lyon says there are a couple steps left.
It still has to prove that it could survive a reentry, and it also has to prove that it could successfully hit a target it intends to hit.
But analysts agree this is a major development, considerably ahead, too, of what Western intelligence had believed Pyongyang was capable of. WSB's Jamie Dupree in Washington is monitoring congressional reaction to President Trump's literally fiery comments. He says there's not much, and that speaks volumes. What we do have is not so positive. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the Democrat of California, the situation on the Korean Peninsula is already volatile enough. President Trump is not helping the situation with his bombastic comments. Republican Senator McCain, I take exception to the president's comments because you've got to be sure you can do what you say you can do. Positive reaction, Jamie says, not any, at least not yet. 70 degrees on Peachtree Street, 531. WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish has his exclusive 5-day forecast on the way. Now Triple Team Traffic, Doug Turnbull.
Yeah, travel advisory 78 eastbound, Chris. We've had a wreck in the left lane that I flew over about 20 minutes ago there that I think is still there at Hugh Howell Road. You are jammed solid back toward North Druid Hills. Stay away from it. Use Memorial Drive or Lawrenceville Highway as alternates around that. Now we have all lanes blocked in Henry County, 75 south, right around Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224. They're trying to get a crash out of the left lane off to the right. Jam there back toward Highway 138. If you're taking the downtown ride, you don't need an alternate, but 75-85 south is kind of slow the whole way, beginning 400 on Lennox, all the way down past University Avenue. And now we're hearing about a crash second right lane, looks like 75 south at Cleveland Avenue. Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Well, over on the Interloop 285 eastbound of Beaufort Highway, we cleared that stalled tractor trailer off to the right. Still delays starting at Georgia 400 and then budget 35 minutes from Spaghetti Junction out to Memorial going down the east wall. Outer Loop, Alex Williams.
Typical delays, 285 westbound, jams in Ashford, Dunwoody over to I-75. Southbound delays, it is really slow, leaving I-75 down to I-20 with delays continuing where the rain has been following south of I-20 down to Camp Creek Parkway. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
And now Glenn Campbell, dead today at 81.
Singer Blake Shelton paid tribute to Glenn Campbell at the 2016 Academy of Country Music Honors.
An amazing vocalist, a world-class guitar player, popular TV host, and damn, is he a good-looking man.
Shelton went on to praise the entertainer for the courageous battle he was then waging against Alzheimer's. Before he entered the final stages of the disease, the singer had gone on a 2-year farewell tour and wrote this song as his final legacy.
I'm not gonna miss you.
But fans will miss Glenn Campbell. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The man accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend to death in Gwinnett County yesterday is behind bars now. Jesse Bodie picked up at the Mountain Park Kroger after a tip that he was there. The UGA Business School professor promising to let students help decide their own grades if they felt stressed out isn't anymore. The statement from the dean today says that was an ill-advised idea and it's being removed from the syllabus. This story has made national news. New at 5:30, a warning from the Better Business Bureau. It's about a title company.
McManus Title Company. Everything about it is bogus, says Fred Ellsbury with the Better Business Bureau.
It looks like somebody has hijacked this company and representing themselves as a title company.
He says they've already gotten hundreds of calls in just the past few months. He says make sure that you research any company you do business with before signing a contract, especially contracts regarding titles and escrow. Sabrina Cupid, WSB.
WSB News Time 5:34.
Accurate coverage of the Trump White House.
Led by WSB's Jamie Dupree.
Every day on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB.
At jamiedupree.com.
I'm Jamie Dupree in Washington, D.C. When we're not doing the news, we're talking about the news.
Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic. WSB. Depend on it.
Emerging uncertain housing trend, but it could work to your advantage. The housing market is changing rapidly. My experts at Duffy Realty of Atlanta have studied and researched this emerging uncertain trend. Rhonda Duffy's market indicators say the time to list your home is right now, and the likelihood you'll sell it faster and get more for it is extremely high. This time last year, there were 12,000 more local homes for sale. The buyers are still anxious to buy, so it's time for you to sell. This is Scott Slade. If you're taking advantage of this ideal timing to sell your home, and I think you should, put even more money in your pocket by listing with Duffy Realty. They charge just a $500 listing fee and 3/4% of the sales price when sold, saving homeowners like you an average of $9,000 in commission fees. This is the time for you to be the hero for your family. You don't have to compromise. Happiness just makes sense. So does saving money. This is the best time to list your home. Get it sold with Rhonda Duffy.
DuffyRealtyATL.com. Hi, I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Fred looks 20 years younger.
Fred?
My next door neighbor. You guys were there yesterday.
He wanted to wear my hat.
20 years younger.
All you have to do is point, and whatever you're pointing at will disappear.
Let's get rid of that, and that, and that.
Will there be anything else?
I feel amazing.
Spread the word, ma'am. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Here's a question for you. Have you ever purchased a new vehicle for $12,000 off MSRP? That's unheard of, right? Well, you're hearing it now, and if you want to, you can right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC. Doug Turnbull here at Jim Ellis Buick GMC is clearing the decks off of all 2017 models with model year-end event offers like this. Listen, $12,000 off MSRP on 40 Buick Enclaves, and I just sat in one. It is nice. You need to go down and pick out your color, okay? They'll go quick. Example, Enclave stock number BE1511's MSRP is $46,080, but after rebates and discounts, sale prices only $34,080. Just add TAVT and state fees, and for details on this model year-end event offer and many more, go to JimEllisBuickGMC.com, or better yet, stop by either Jim Ellis Buick GMC location, Highway 20 at the Mall of Georgia, or on Peachtree Industrial just inside the perimeter. At Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Tell them Turnbull sent you.
Automatic audio traffic alerts while you drive from your iPhone or Android.
Delivered by WSB's experts in the Skycopter and on the ground just for your route ahead. It's WSB's Triple Team Traffic Alerts.
Hands-free warnings when your Atlanta commute goes from tough to impossible. Free at app stores.
Open it, drive, depend on it.
WSB News Time 537, Doug Turnbull.
And the van has wiped out and hit it free here in Paulding County. All lanes are blocked, but they're about to reopen as it's now on a record 92 and Due West Road. Hopefully they get this traffic moving here shortly. You can use Dallas Ackworth Highway, Highway 381, or Mars Hill Road as alternates. Again, 92 is still blocked at Due West. 75 North, no lanes are blocked. It takes about 25 minutes, 285 to Barrett Parkway, and 20 minutes up 575 North from the 75 split toward Town Lake. Veronica Rell, Pool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
A bumper to bumper 400 northbound from before 285 out to the river, on and off the brakes from Windward to Bald Ridge over in the Forsyth County area, and brake lights again 400 southbound at Haynes Bridge. Northeast, Joe Nelson.
85 northbound delays begin after Shallowford and continue up to Indian Trail. Further north, you'll hit more slowdown from Sugarloaf Parkway up to the Mall of Georgia, Highway 316 eastbound. Seeing the usual afternoon congestion from the 85 split on and off out to Harbins Road. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast.
Right,
WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish.
We're not seeing any severe thunderstorms on WSB Storm Tracker radar to end the day, and not really expecting any. Looks like the greatest coverage of showers will be near and south of I-20 as they move to the east at 10 to 20 miles an hour. A relative lull in the rain late tonight and again Friday night and Saturday, but generally still unsettled the next 5 days. For tonight, a shower in a few areas, otherwise mostly cloudy, low about 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a shower, thunder shower, 60% likely, high 80, low 70. Thursday, shower, thunderstorm, 70% likely, cloudy, high 83, low 71. Friday, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. A shower or thunderstorm 60% likely, high 85, low 71. My exclusive 5-day forecast for the weekend. A 40% chance of a thunderstorm Saturday, 50% Sunday. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. Saturday 88, Sunday 87, lows around 72.
70 degrees at 5:39. I'm Chris Chandler, News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
It is 39 after the hour. I just so happen to be Erick Erickson. This is Atlanta's Evening News on WSB. A quick check of the radar for you. South of I-20 in Atlanta, you've got rain. South of I-20 and west of 75. It's headed towards McDonough, though, and Jackson. Griffin's got rain. Noonan, Peachtree City, Fayetteville, Fairburn, Palmetto, you've all got rain on the north side of the city. Heavy rain around the Canton area, just south of Cumming. Waleska, you've got rain, and it's headed towards the south, towards Canton as well. And then you're clear on I-20 from Alabama to South Carolina right now. Most of the stuff is south of the city, south of I-20 right now. Donald Trump talking to Tim Russert back in 1999. This is what he said about North Korea then.
North Korea. And you say that you, as president, would be willing to launch a preemptive strike against North Korea's nuclear capability.
First, I'd negotiate. I would negotiate like crazy, and I'd make sure that we tried to get the best deal possible. Look, Tim, if a man walks up to you on a street in Washington, because this doesn't happen, of course, in New York, but if a man walks up and puts a gun to your head and says, give me your money, wouldn't you rather know where he's coming from before he had the gun in his hand? And these people, in 3 or 4 years, are going to be having nuclear weapons. They're going to have those weapons pointed all over the world, and specifically at the United States. And wouldn't you be better off solving this really potentially unbelievable, and the biggest problem, I mean, we can talk about the economy, we can talk about Social Security. The biggest problem this world has is nuclear proliferation. And we have a country out there in North Korea, which is sort of wacko, which is not a bunch of dummies, and they are going out and they are developing nuclear weapons. And they're not doing it because they're having fun doing it, they're doing it for a reason. And wouldn't it be good to sit down and really negotiate something, and ideally negotiate? Now, if that negotiation doesn't work, you better solve the problem now than solve it later, Tim. And you know it, and every politician knows it, and nobody wants to talk about it. Jimmy Carter, who I really like, and he went over there, it was so soft. These people are laughing at us.
The former general of the Air Force, Merrill McPeak, the former Secretary of Defense, Les Aspin, said you could not launch a preemptive strike against North Korea because the nuclear fallout could be devastating to the Asian Peninsula.
I'm not talking about us using nuclear weapons. I'm saying that they have areas where they're developing missiles.
No, but taking out their nuclear potential would create a fallout.
Tim, do you know that this country went out and gave them nuclear reactors, free fuel for 10 years? We virtually tried to bribe them into stopping, and they're continuing to do what they're doing, and they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of dummies. I'm saying that we have to do something to stop.
But if the military told you, Mr. Trump, we can't do this.
You give me 2 names. You're giving me 2 names. I don't know. You want to do it in 5 years when they have warheads all over the place, every one of them pointing to New York City, to Washington, and every one of our... Is that when you want to do it, or do you want to do something now?
You know, he raises a good point in that clip, and I get what Tim Russert is saying. If we were to drop bombs on North Korea where they have nuclear material, we could cause a fallout problem on the Korean Peninsula. We could. But I think President Trump, back in 1999, had a stronger point. Do we wait for them to actually get the missiles and then we have to strike, or do we do it now? Yeah, there may be some fallout. Then maybe there won't be fallout. It depends on the wind to some degree. But we're going to have to deal with the situation now. We have put this off and put this off and put this off and put our head in the sand and convinced ourselves it wouldn't happen, and the day is here. And incidentally, it's happening on the 72nd anniversary of dropping the bomb on Hiroshima. It's happening the week. This news is coming out the week of the anniversary that we dropped the bomb on Japan. Part of me doesn't think that's a coincidence at all. Part of me thinks it's time we better go check traffic with Doug Turnbull.
Yeah, there's so much that's changed here. Eric, 543 WSB, a lot going on here on the roadways. We'll start with 285, which is finally calming down to routine, but it's still worse than normal. 285 west and south, the outer loop. Good old-fashioned hour from Ashford, Dunwoody Road, around to Camp Creek Parkway, the airport exit. Part of that's because of rain that happened near the airport. Your inner loop ride, 285 east and south, super stacked, almost 30 minutes just from Dunwoody to I-85. Earlier trouble off to the right of Beaufort Highway. 285 south stays stacked to 78. And avoid Highway 78. Travel advisory. It'll take you 45 minutes north through the hills out toward the Killian Hill area. That's because of trouble that I saw in the left lane. 78 east of Hugh Howell, 29 or Memorial. Those are your alternates between DeKalb and Gwinnett, Eric.
Thank you very much. By the way, keep in mind, June 29th, H.R. McMaster said that a military option for North Korea was being prepared for the president to review. Let's go to the phones now. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Up first, Mitch in Monroe. Welcome.
Hey, Eric. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Eric, I want to echo in agreement with everything that you've been talking about with the possibility of a North Korean nuclear strike on the United States, because they're capable of selling it, of at some point in time launching it. All those things will be true. Now, one thing I want to be sure that everybody knows what Mick Shiver believes in, and that is that if this happens, it will be because God allowed it to happen. But I can say one thing, if you spend any time, when you look at the west coast of the United States, you look at Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, if you watch the news, if you spend any time there, those are liberal bastions to where in so many cases, not all cases, but in so many cases, anything goes. That's just the way they have chosen to have their cities and to live that way, and more power to them. But I can tell you, if there is a strike and it hits any one around of those places, you will have, in my opinion, a 1,000% unified response from the United States. Amen. Because we as conservatives don't care. When you attack the United States, when you attack one of us, you attack all of us.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I got to let you go there because we got to get Kim from Johns Creek. Kim, welcome.
Hey, that clip of Trump with Tim Russert, God rest his soul, was perfect. And I'm hoping that you can kind of provide a little more of the history of, because didn't one president go over there and make a deal and say, look, we're going to let you keep some of your nuclear technology so you can make power, yes, electrical power for your people to help them, but you got to make a promise to be good girls and boys and not do bad things like make nuclear weapons.
That was Bill Clinton back in the 1990s.
It was. That's what I thought. And so basically, and because I remember when that happened, and people were saying, these guys aren't going to just do electrical power. They're going to make a bomb. And that's what they've done.
Right. Well, yeah, and let me play this clip again real quick. Kim, this is Bill Clinton from the 1990s announcing the North Korean deal where they would get to keep some of their nuclear technology in exchange for not building nukes.
Before I take your questions, I'd like to say just a word about the framework with North Korea that Ambassador Gallucci signed this morning. This is a good deal for the United States. North Korea will freeze and then dismantle its nuclear program. South Korea and our other allies will be better protected. The entire world will be safer as we slow the spread of nuclear weapons.
That was Bill Clinton then, and now the North Koreans have nukes.
Erick Erickson. You never know what he's going to say, but you'll always know where he stands. Every day, 5 till 7, part of Atlanta's Evening News on WSB. WSB's Clark Howard is here to help you save more, spend less, and avoid getting ripped off.
Do I have a deal for you if you or someone in your family is 55 or over? There is a great cell phone offering today from T-Mobile that what you get is you get unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data, and use of your phone free overseas if you like to travel from Atlanta overseas. And all you have to do is be able to show you're 55 or over, you and a companion, so for a married couple or whatever, and only one has to be 55 or over, you get your unlimited everything for two people for $60 a month. That's right, $30 per month per person, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data. And the great news about T-Mobile is their coverage in Metro Atlanta used to be pitiful. It was terrible. And their network has dramatically improved. I used to ride around Atlanta with T-Mobile and my calls would drop left and right. That doesn't happen except very rarely anymore. So vastly improved, and a tiny fraction of the cost of a couple having unlimited cell phone service with AT&T or Verizon. In addition, that $60 a month, that's all fees, everything all in from T-Mobile.
Clark Howard is on WSB, mornings noon, 5:45, and tonight at 10, and always on demand at clark.com.
49 travel to Pine Creek, WSB. I'm up over Highway 92. This truck that wiped out hard into a tree here at Due West Road still hasn't shut down. It's up on the record, but traffic is slow for about a mile in each direction. Due West Road is also jammed up as well. If you're going to take alternates, Mars Hill Road or Highway 381, Dallas Ackworth Highway before it becomes Highway 92. Those are ways to get around it. We updated all of this in our 222 traffic alert zap. We also have delays on 75 North that are actually a little bit lighter than normal, but slow, though, for the South Loop to Barrett Parkway. 575 North, still about a 20-minute routine run to go from 75 into Woodstock. We had some trouble earlier on 575 southbound just north of Howell Bridge, exit 27. Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Budget 40 minutes, 400 northbound from Lenox out to Windward Parkway, on and off the brakes from Windward, getting out to Bald Ridge in Forsyth County. An overturned dump truck over on the Cherokee-Fulton County line, Highway 140 shut down at Cox Road. Truck lost a load of logs. Avoid that area. Geo Nelson, northeast.
85 northbound delays begin after Shallowford, continue up to Indian Trail. That's taking you 17 minutes. Further north, more delays await between Sugarloaf Parkway and the Mall of Georgia. Highway 316 eastbound is slow from the 85 split, on and off out to Harbins Road. Triple team traffic, WSB.
Shopping for a new home? The market is flooded with buyers. Give yourself the upper hand and better your chances to secure your dream home. It's Erick Erickson here. Before you even start looking, Bright Path Mortgage should be your first call to pre-qual. By pre-qualifying first, you'll have a better chance of your offer being noticed and accepted. Bright Path are the no-cost mortgage experts. They loan their own money and make their own decisions fast. Purchase or refinance. Follow the Bright Path to savings. Call 678-707-6300 or brightpath.com.
NMLS number 177208, NMLConsumerAccess.org. Here's Wesley Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group, family owned and operated since 1971.
Buying a new or pre-owned vehicle should be an exciting time. However, many consumers would rather skip today's traditional car buying experience and the stress of haggling over price, navigating an unfamiliar sales process, and spending hours at the dealership. Unfortunately, this is the buying process for many consumers, but it doesn't have to be. At Jim Ellis, our buying experience puts customers in control. We can accommodate those that want to visit the dealership, kick the tires, and test drive before making a decision. Or we can also accommodate those that want to purchase from the comfort of their own home. Browse inventory, determine trade value, and even secure financing on your device on your time. And we'll even deliver your new car at your convenience without ever having to visit the dealership. Experience a better way to buy your next car. To learn more, visit jimellis.com. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
As we found out the last couple of days, severe weather really never takes a break here in Metro Atlanta. Hey guys, it's Mark Aram back with you. I drove through the rain this weekend. I saw it yesterday morning. You never know when severe weather is going to pop up, and that's bad news not only for traffic, but possibly your roof. If you have a roof issue now or in the future, do what I did and get in touch with the folks at Dr. Roof. By far the most professional company I've ever worked with. Dr. Roof's the best in the business, frankly. It's not even close, and they stand by their work, offering up to a 25-year no-leak guarantee. They've had over 100,000 satisfied customers since 1988. You simply can't stay in business that long if you aren't doing great work, and they are doing great work. Take it from me firsthand. They took care of all of my roof issues. No one in Atlanta repairs more roofs than Dr. Roof. When it comes to your roof, there's Dr. Roof, then there's everyone else. Check them out online at drroof.com. That website again, drroof.com.
Transform your closets into beautiful, efficient spaces. And now, take advantage of our free accessory package during our summer closet makeover event. Visit artisancustomclosets.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. artisancustomclosets.com.
Hey, are you a stressed out landlord? Maybe you have something better to do than manage tenants and toilets and trash? Hey, Sean Hannity here for Renters Warehouse. Now, whether you own 1 or 100 properties, it's time to retire from landlording and outsource all of those headaches to the pros at Renters Warehouse instead. Now, they help entrepreneurs and investors get the best returns on their properties by placing high-quality tenants fast at the highest rents in just a few weeks on average. Plus, they warranty renters for free. Now, Renters Warehouse charges no upfront fees, no marketing fees, and you can cancel at any time. They'll give you hours of your life back in the form of rent collection, inspections, maintenance coordination, legal paperwork, and so much more. Now just go to renterswarehouse.com right now to learn more about their low $99 a month management fee. Or call 404-662-2322 to speak to a rent estate advisor today.
554, Turnbull, WSB. I-20 is actually decent. No, not delay-free on both sides of town. First story downtown, 75-85 south. Starts slowing at Chester Bridge on 85 and Howell, the Linux Road area on 400. And from Howell Mill at 75. And you stay slow all the way down past University Avenue, partly because of earlier trouble now gone 75 south at Cleveland Avenue. On 78 eastbound, hold your nose. Traffic Trooper Schoolboy does say that trouble is off to the right at Hugh Howell Road, but you stay jammed all the way back toward North Druid Hills. South side, Alex Williams.
75 southbound, typical delays
All right, coming
from Central
soon.
Avenue down past Forest Parkway. Then the slow zone is improving in Henry County. Earlier crash gone. 75 southbound Hudson Bridge. Tap of the brakes leaving 675. 85 southbound. You're seeing the brake lights glowing from I-285 down towards Flat Shoals. Doug?
Reports of a rollover crash now in the Lilburn area, Gwinnett County, Bethesda Church Road at Highway 29. And we're en route to this trouble that's blocking up Highway 140 and Cox Road, Fulton, Cherokee. Triple team traffic every 6 minutes. WSB.
55 after the hour. I'm Erick Erickson here in Atlanta, Georgia, with the evening news on WSB. Filled in for Herman Cain this morning as well. People have been texting me and tweeting and stuff and said, is this the part of the show that you did this morning that I didn't get to hear? No, I'm actually live right now at 5:55 and 51 seconds. That's your clue that I'm actually live and reading the radar. This isn't pretend. It's not pre-recorded. It's actually me live. You know, in yesterday's show, I mentioned the UGA professor who was going to allow students to pick their own grade. Essentially, he was going to give the students a grade. This is the way he wanted it to work. He would give them a grade, and if they didn't like the grade, they could email him back, and he would change it to what they wanted, no questions asked. And this morning, the University of Georgia actually emailed WSB and asked if I would please clarify that this was not going to happen. And then they released a public statement. It got so much national attention as well. They released a big national statement saying that this fell short of the standards of the Terry School of Business, and the professor will not be doing this. They have advised the professor that this is unacceptable for the Terry School of Business. The North Avenue Trade School kids are still laughing, pointing fingers at the UGA kids. Oh, my goodness gracious. When we
30.
come back, I want to change gears from North Korea. We'll still take your phone calls, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. But, when we come back, I want to talk
15.
about Google and the social justice warrior nut jobs who have had
10.
James Damore fired today.
It's time for some football. Any way we can get it. At the game, on TV, and even online. If you like watching your favorite team, you need Spectrum TV. Get it today by calling 844-855-2999. Spectrum TV has over 200 channels available in stunning crystal clear HD, including ESPN, so you can see every pass, catch, and touchdown in high definition. Plus, with the Spectrum TV app, you can watch the game in any room, or even catch another game at the same time. And with thousands of on-demand options, there's always something to watch when the game's over. Call us at 844-855-2999. Spectrum TV is only $29.99 per month when bundled. And with Spectrum TV, you also get access to the Watch ESPN app, so you can always see the game even when you're not at home. Spectrum TV with the Spectrum TV app and ESPN. It's the ultimate fantasy team. Call 844-855-2999 and get Spectrum TV now. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's time for the clearance event of the summer, featuring great deals on the legendary Jeep brand lineup, like 0% financing for 6 years or $5,000 total cash allowance on the 2017 Jeep Cherokee when financed through Chrysler Capital. Or get an amazing deal and take to the beach in the luxurious Jeep Grand Cherokee. Cruise the coast with an exceptional offer in your all-new Jeep Compass, or gaze at the stars with a great deal in the Jeep Renegade with available My Sky dual-pane sunroof. Go to Jeep.com to find a dealer near you and check out all the great deals going on now, like 0% financing for 6 years or $5,000 total cash allowance on the 2017 Jeep Cherokee when financed through Chrysler Capital. The official vehicles of summer are ready for whatever summer brings. Hurry to your Jeep brand dealer today. Offer excludes sport model. 0% APR financing for 6 years equals $13.89 per month per $1,000 financed for well-qualified buyers regardless of down payment when financed through Chrysler Capital. Not all buyers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Offer ends 9/5/17. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
For 3 generations, Delta Plumbing has been getting Atlanta unclogged, unstuck, and unbothered. Hey, it's Mark Aram here, and when I have any plumbing issues at all, I head straight online to educatedplumber.com, educatedplumber.com.
WSBB FM, Doraville.
This is Atlanta's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic. News 95.5 and AM 750. WSB. Atlanta's news starts now.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm Chris Campbell, live from the WSB 24-hour news center.
I am a lineman for the county.
The Wichita lineman has died. We'll have more about the life of Glenn Campbell in just a moment. First,
they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
President Trump this afternoon warning North Korea to stop threatening the United States or else. That after a somewhat alarming piece of news.
A U.S. official confirms to CBS News that a new intelligence assessment concludes that North Korea has developed the capability to build a nuclear warhead that is small enough to fit on top of a ballistic missile, including an intercontinental ballistic missile, that is one with a range great enough to reach the United States.
That's Pentagon reporter David Martin. Military experts say it would still be necessary to develop better targeting and re-entry capabilities, but this is a major step forward for North Korea's nuclear program, and it has come well ahead of what many analysts had believed was possible. 71 degrees on Peachtree Street 601. WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish has his exclusive 5-day forecast on the way. Now Triple Team Traffic, here's Doug Turnbull.
About that, lanes have just reopened. This trouble 75 north at Howell Mill, but it's put the pinch on the connector 75-85 north back toward I-20. The southbound right takes 35 minutes, Buckhead to I-20, but it kind of stays slowed down toward University Avenue. Now, we're in trouble, or we're en route to trouble, 140 at Cox Road to the Fulton Cherokee County line. A logging truck lost its load. All lanes have been blocked at Paulding County, 92 at New West Road with a bad wreck there. And 78 eastbound, the trouble is cleared to the right at New Howell Road, but ouch, it is jammed solid back toward I-285. I'd still recommend Lawrenceville Highway or Memorial, maybe even East Ponce as some alternates. Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
And over on the inner loop, the WSB Jam Cam, we just spotted a new stalled motorist, 285 southbound, just past Glenwood, conked out in the center lane. You're looking at delays starting back at Ashford Dunwoody. How's the outer loop, Alex Williams?
285 westbound packed. If you're heading over to SunTrust Park for the Braves game, you're going to be on the brakes the whole way between Georgia 400 and I-75. Southbound delays continue pretty tough down to I-20 on the west side. And then the volume doesn't stop there. Brake lights continue glowing, 285 southbound between I-20 and Camp Creek Parkway. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
Now a man who was a touchstone in our American culture, Glenn Campbell, is dead at the age of 81.
I've been walking these streets so long. Glenn Campbell identified with one of his biggest hits, Rhinestone Cowboy. The song was about hustling for success, a reflection of Campbell's own life. Born to Arkansas sharecroppers, the high school dropout made his way to Hollywood, where he became a successful studio musician. His solo career took off in 1967 with And for Hours You're Just Gentle on My Mind. The hits not only kept coming, he also did a TV show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Glenn Campbell.
The Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour helped make him a household name, which led to movie roles such as 1969's True Grit.
Howdy. What's your name?
Campbell was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2011. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Breaking news first. This is WSB 24-hour continuing news.
Well, we can stand down tonight on that manhunt in Gwinnett County. An accused killer has been caught.
Gwinnett police received a tip that Jesse Bodie was at the Mountain Park Kroger where he was arrested without incident. Corporal Michelle Harris says police had been called to the home where Vera Tobur was killed numerous times over the last year and even responded to a burglary call there hours before her murder.
There's no mention in the report that any suspect was hiding in the home when they responded out to that original burglary call.
Bodie had served time previously for aggravated assault involving another woman where a knife was also used. From Gwinnett Police Headquarters, Sandra Parrish, WSB.
The UGA Business School professor promising to let students help decide their own grades if they felt stressed out isn't anymore. The statement from the dean today says that was an ill-advised idea and it's being removed from the syllabus. Professor Richard Watson had told students, quote, if you feel unduly stressed by a grade, you can email the instructor indicating what grade you think is appropriate, and it will be so changed. On Wall Street today, the Dow down 33 points, breaking the streak. The close 22,085. The NASDAQ down 13 points today to close at 63.70. WSB News Time is 6:04.
Why do we call it? Triple team. WSB Triple Team Traffic. Because we're in the air.
We'll stay up and above.
Watching with cameras everywhere.
I'm seeing it on the WSB Jam Cam.
And on the roads.
Crash on 75 northbound.
Triple Team Traffic
is on News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
You're invited to discover all that's fresh at the Fresh Market. We've got more of the foods you love, like premium quality meat and seafood, specialty produce, signature baked goods, and meals to go. Plus, an experience you won't find anywhere else. Join us for our grand reopening celebration at our local stores on Wednesday, August 9th at 10 a.m. and enjoy delicious sampling, giveaways, chef demos, and more. Visit thefreshmarket.com/refresh for details.
When it comes to guiding you to and through a successful retirement, at Financial Engines, what we don't do is almost as important as what we do. We don't work on commission. We don't judge. We don't tell you what we think you want to hear. And at Financial Engines, we don't use confusing financial speak or take a one-size-fits-all approach to financial planning. So, what do? We start with your goals, your dreams, your fears. Then we help create your personalized path to the retirement you deserve. Right now, for a limited time, get a free portfolio review by an experienced local advisor. Just visit financialengines.com or call Financial Engines 800-244-5335 and we'll connect you with a financial advisor near you to help create a plan for providing monthly income during retirement. Don't take chances with your financial future. Call Financial Engines. Schedule your free review of your current financial planning needs and portfolio. 800-244-5335. 800-244-5335. That's 800-244-5335.
Jay, how does someone know if they have a waterproofing problem?
Lewis, if your wife wakes up in the morning, walks down to the basement, and gets her socks wet, you've got a big problem. You may also have a waterproofing problem if you have puddles around your foundation.
This water could eventually end up causing serious damage to your home or business.
Absolutely, and this water could lead to costlier foundation repairs as well.
Give Engineered Solutions of Georgia a call. Dial 678-ESOG now.
678-ESOG now. Is your AC cold enough? If it constantly runs and doesn't get to the temperature you set, you could have a costly Freon leak. For that, call my 5-star home service heroes at Castile. Repair or replace your AC with Castile, and your Freon is free. You could save hundreds.
Download WSB Triple Team Traffic Alerts on your iPhone or Android, the first local app dedicated to Georgia commuters.
It connects you to the WSB reporters in the Skycopter.
With first word when trouble breaks out for your drive.
You hear about it first. Automatically open it,
drive,
and depend on it.
WSB News Time 6:07. Here's Doug Turnbull.
As 75 and 575 North are on the mend, but 575 does stay slow up past the Town Lane Parkway area. 92 at last check when I was over, it was still shut down. A wrecker on the scene at New West Road. A serious crash there. Mars Hill Road and Highway 381. Those are your alternates around it. I'm up over Highway 140 at Cox Road. I see kind of the normal afternoon rush here as you head from Fulton into Cherokee County, but I haven't found any logging truck crash there. If it's at a different location, please give us a call via our new Triple Team Traffic Alert towards that. Veronica Ralph, Coolray, Carrier Traffic Center.
We'll spot a crash over on Georgia 400 northbound just before 285, off to the left, but still causing delays back to Glen Ridge. And then this is the usual slow roll out into the Roswell area. Sluggish over in Forsyth County from Windward to 141, and brake lights 400 southbound of Haynes Bridge, northeast. Jill Nelson.
Couple new incidents in Gwinnett. New crash, Highway 316 westbound past Drowning Creek Road has a left lane shut down. And traffic trooper Patty let us know about an overturned vehicle on Bethesda Church Road in Lawrenceville. That's got that road shut down from Church Street to Highway 29. Triple team traffic, WSB.
Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here's WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish.
Well, not seeing any severe thunderstorms on WSB Storm Tracker radar to end the day, and not really expecting any. Looks like the greatest coverage of showers will be near and south of I-20 as they move to the east at 10 to 20 miles an hour. A relative lull in the rain late tonight and again Friday night and Saturday, but generally still unsettled the next 5 days. For tonight, a shower in a few areas, otherwise mostly cloudy, low about 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a shower, thundershower, 60% likely, high 80, low 70. Thursday, shower, thunderstorm, 70% likely, cloudy, high 83, low 71. Friday, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy, a shower, thunderstorm, 60% likely, high 85, low 71. My exclusive 5-day forecast for the weekend, a 40% chance of a thunderstorm Saturday, 50% Sunday. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. Saturday 88, Sunday 87, lows around 72.
71 degrees at 6:09. I'm Chris Chandler, News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Breaking news out of the gate right now. The Dow Jones and Reuters both citing state-run media. North Korea publicly saying on state-run media it is considering a strike on Guam, testing its nuclear weapons on Guam. Well, hey, they want to escalate the situation. I actually don't really believe that's. I mean, I listen, they're not rational actors, but I think they're smart enough to realize we actually could wipe them off the map, and China won't help. China, yeah. Charlie just sent me a note down the line. I mean, they could cause Guam to tip over. I mean, we should consult Hank Johnson on this. They could have a secret plan to tip over Guam, and we're just misreading the signals. Look, I want to move on for a little bit. We'll take phone calls, though. 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. I'm also live streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/EW Erickson. And they've actually got a live chat thing, so in commercial break, I can actually engage with the people on YouTube, which is kind of cool. But I want to talk about this Google situation and the James Damore memo. Let me read you some of this, because you would never know this from the media. These are actual quotes from his memo. I strongly believe in gender and racial diversity, and I think we should strive for more. Women on average show a higher interest in people and men in things. Women on average are more cooperative. Women on average look for more work-life balance, while men have a higher drive for status on average. The male gender role is currently inflexible. Feminism has made great progress in freeing women from the female gender role, but men are still very much tied to the male gender role. If we, as a society, allow men to be more feminine, then the gender gap will shrink, although probably because men will leave tech and leadership for traditionally feminine roles. Those are all quotes from James Damore. He's got a PhD from Harvard. He's a Google engineer. He's a scientist. He quoted actual studies. In fact, he laid out biases of conservatives, that these are the things conservatives have a hard time dealing with, but he also laid out things liberals have a hard time dealing with. But according to the tech site Gizmodo, what Damore wrote was an anti-diversity screed. Let me again read you the opening of his memo. I strongly believe in gender and racial diversity, and I think we should strive for more. But it was an anti-diversity screed. Recode referred to it as sexist, and the tech site Mashable decided to attack anyone who defended James Damore as being part of the alt-right. And, he did say that women, for example, suffer from neuroticism more than men. But it wasn't what he said actually wasn't how the way the press reported it. The press accused him of being sexist by accusing women of being more neurotic. He was actually using the scientific terminology for what it means to suffer from higher anxiety and have lower stress tolerances in work-life situations. That's actually what neuroticism is. And study after study after study in sociology and psychology shows that women do suffer from neuroticism more than men. They have higher stress levels in these high-stress work situations. They have higher anxiety. I mean, he didn't pull any of this stuff out of thin air. He actually quoted scientific studies. He actually quoted highly regarded studies on gender differences. He quoted all of these things in his memo, things that the left on their own takes at face value, these individual studies. But he dared to put it in a memo suggesting to Google that it try to expand diversity, not through affirmative action, but through different means. I'll explain, but first, let's go check with Doug Turnbull, who's checking it out.
Yeah, it's been really taboo on 285 today, Eric. 614 of the Skycopter. DOT tells us they have 2 right lanes blocked, and they're about to reopen up 285 south down the inner loop at Glenwood. It takes an hour to get there from Georgia 400. Your outer loop right has been plagued by rain anywhere below I-20, so 285 west and south. That takes almost an hour to go from 400 around to the airport. Finally, some improvements on 78, but eastbound is still about 18 minutes from 285 out toward East Park Place. And I've just confirmed where this overturned dump truck crash is. It's shutting down Cox Road and Lackey Road. That's about a mile or two west of Highway 140 near the Fulton-Cherokee County line. Eric?
Thank you very much. Let me delve further into this. So Damore made it clear in his memo he wanted to increase diversity at Google, but he wanted Google to consider other ways to do it. Let me read you another quote. Women, according to Damore, women generally... Now I lost my place in the memo. Where is this? Women generally have a stronger interest in people rather than things. So Google could make software engineering more people-oriented with pair programming and more collaboration. But he also said that it is true, generally women have a harder time negotiating for higher salaries, but that is stereotyping women generally. Some women are actually okay with it, and there are also some men who are not comfortable asking for a higher salary. I'm one of them. I don't want to deal with salary. I just assume that my employer is going to pay me what I want, and I hate having to ask for more. I've had to do it, but I hate doing it. I am one of those people who I would rather you just go on and not, let's not make it a negotiation. It's like buying a car. I hate it. I don't want to have to negotiate. I know I'm worth something, and you should just pay me. I hate these negotiations. And his point is that there are men and women alike who have this problem. And instead of having a women's only class in how to negotiate salaries, there are easy sociological testings you can do to figure out who the men are who have the problem as well, and make it gender inclusive. But all of this was lost on the political left. According to the political left, this was an anti-diversity screed, that he doesn't think women are biologically cut out for technology. He didn't say any of that. In fact, he acknowledged that women actually have core competencies in areas of technology that men don't have. If you actually read the memo, he said that. But among software programmers, women are more collaborative, and the Google workforce situation is where they dissuade collaboration on software development. You know, Eric Schmidt, who was at one time the head of Google, he's still one of the leaders of Google, was asked about people disagreeing with him intellectually, conservative disagreements with some of his philosophies. He actually said that people who disagree with him do so from an anti-science position, that science supports him. The head of diversity at Google is named Danielle Brown. She worked for Hillary Clinton. She released a statement making clear that she was offended by James Damore's statements. But, she said, part of building an open, inclusive environment means fostering a culture in which those with alternative views, including different political views, feel safe sharing their opinions. They fired him for sharing his opinion that differed. The CEO of Google said he had crossed the line by advancing harmful gender stereotypes in our workplace. And you know, the irony here is that his entire memo, if you read it, it's 10 pages. If you read his memo, he points out again and again that Google is taking policies, implementing policies that are based on stereotypes of gender and not actual research. And he provided the research. And it turns out a lot of the research out there disrupts the stereotypes of gender. And in some cases shows that men and women share the same problems, or there are classes of men and women who share the same problem. And instead of having black-only classes or women-only classes or Asian-only classes or Hispanic-only classes, as Google was doing, they could be much more inclusive. James Damore's entire point is that they need more diversity at Google, but they are prioritizing skin color diversity over intellectual diversity, and the way that they're prioritizing skin color diversity is not actually bringing in the best employees necessarily. It's actually checking the box, saying, oh, we've got this many black people, this many women, we should be good, but they're not actually restructuring the workplace to make it welcoming to women who actually want to work there. That was his entire point in his memo. And instead, the social justice warriors have assailed this guy, calling him sexist, homophobic, misogynist, you name it. The man repeatedly in his memo says they need greater diversity at Google, and is just pointing out that based on the research out there, based on the sociological and psychological and scientific research out there, Google is not fostering a climate of diversity, but there are ways they could do it to incentivize diversity. You would never know that the way the media reported this. The groupthink on the left and in the media, they are much more interested in this. This guy committed the act of wrongthink. He dared to say things that the left believes to be not true, even though all the data suggests it is. He dared to say it publicly, and he had to be fired. Now think about this. Think about this one thing. The employees at Google drove from Google an employee who values diversity because he dared to suggest there was a better way to achieve it than affirmative action. A fairer way to achieve it, and a way to achieve it where there were longer lasting results, where they didn't hire women who left after a year but actually stayed and made Google a career. They fired him for that. Now, these are the people who are in charge of the algorithm to go find stuff on the internet. How easy would it be for these people to alter the algorithm, to send any conservative thought, any Christian thought, any thought they disagreed with into an internet silo somewhere where you could never find it? Oh, it would be very easy for them to do, and I bet they're already doing it.
Politicians, pollsters, and spinmeisters dance around the truth. WSB's Erick Erickson cuts through talking points to get to the truth. Erick Erickson and Atlanta's Evening News, sponsored by Comcast Business.
620 Doug Turnbull in the Skycopter 75 north. Cleaner up Buttercup. It's almost delay free through Marietta. Don't want to chase it. 575 north. Just a little sluggish around Chastain Road. We do have a jam up though at 92. It's been blocked up for a long time at Due West Road in Paulding County with a serious wreck there that we flew over for a while. I see delays on 92 at both directions through the area between, say, East Paulding High School and Dallas Ackworth Highway. Looks like some trouble on Dallas Ackworth and the old Stylesboro Road area as well. And Cox Road is blocked about halfway between Highway 140 and 92 with a dump truck crash there in the Cherokee County line, but no major delays with that. Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
At 400 northbound, still thick from Glen Ridge getting out to Abernathy, then just sluggish out to the river. Tap of the brakes through Forsyth County, and brake lights still 400 southbound before Holcomb Bridge. How's the northeast ride, Jill Nelson?
Stalled car blocking the left lane on the ramp from 285 eastbound to 85 at Spaghetti Junction. Delays 85 northbound from 285 up to Indian Trail, but 316 eastbound just minor slowdown from 85 out to Sugarloaf. This report brought to you by Volvo. Get up to $4,500 on a new Volvo vehicle of your choosing during Volvo's Midsummer Sales Event. Visit your local Volvo dealer for details on this limited time offer. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
WSB's Clark Howard scores special tickets at a special price Thursday night at Cool Ray Field for the Gwinnett Braves.
I've secured dugout seats for WSB listeners for only $9.55. And meet WSB's Mark Aram and Eric Von Hessler at the game that night. Get your G-Braves tickets now at WSBRadio.com.
Click Events on WSBRadio.com. Look for Clark Howard Night at the Gwinnett Braves. Use ticket code Clark. See you Thursday.
Does your basement have water, a musty smell, discolored walls, or mold? Dave Baker, Home Fix-It Show host here with my all things foundations expert, Tom DiGregorio, owner of AquaGuard Foundation Solutions.
We will transform your basement or crawl space into healthy and usable space.
Trust my guys at AquaGuard with their best price guarantee and lifetime nationally backed warranty to permanently keep water out of your home. Schedule your free evaluation now at aquaguard.net.
When it comes to your foundation, we've got you covered.
AquaGuard!
A huge lakefront liquidation is taking place this Saturday on Lake Huey, the #1 lake in the Southeast. This freshwater lake is second to none, and this Saturday, 8 lakefront home sites will be sold directly by the owner for just pennies on the dollar. For example, a 3-acre lakefront is only $29,900. That's correct. You can own an amazing 3-acre lakefront for under $30,000. And that's not all. You pay no closing costs this Saturday. You must be present to purchase, and all 8 lakefronts will be sold on a first-come, first-choice basis. So don't delay. Call now, 800-675-1800. These 8 lakefront have it all: crystal clear water, huge lake and mountain views, grand gated entrance, lakefront park, paddleboard and kayak area, and so much more. It's all here, and it's all available this Saturday. To see how you can own 3 acres of lakefront on Lake Huey for only $29,900, call now, 800-675-1800, 800-675-1800.
You hear that? That's my parents, playing on my playground. I know, it's a bit childish, right? Well, ever since we went to Publix for their back-to-school sale, they've been acting like kids at recess. I mean, I get it. Saving money is really exciting, and saving time by stocking up on all my favorite snacks at one place is really cool too. But hanging upside down from the monkey bars, really?
Olivia, look! No hands!
Mom, be careful!
Watch me!
I guess it's good to see them having so much fun. I mean, with all the great deals we got at Publix, back-to-school groceries isn't something they have to worry about for quite some time. My only concern is, what if the neighbors see them?
Woo!
Too late.
Get excited for the Publix Back to School sale and all the buy one get one free deals. Danimal Smoothie Kids yogurt multi-packs, Kellogg's cereals assorted varieties, and Capri Sun assorted varieties are all buy one get one free, but only for a short time. So hurry in soon. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
$7,000 off on a new car. Wow, that sounds nice, right? How about $10,000 off a new truck? Scott Slade here, and that's just a sampling of the huge savings during the model year-end event at my dealer, Jim Ellis Chevrolet. That's right, Jim Ellis Chevy has 55 new Chevy Silverados for $10,000 off, 44 new Malibus for $7,000 off. For example, Malibu stock number ML7163's MSRP is $24,220. After rebates and the Jim Ellis discount, the sale price is only $17,220. That's $7,000 off. Just add TAVT and state fees. When it comes to model year-end events to move 2017s to make room for the 2018s, no one does it better than Jim Ellis Chevrolet. For details, visit JimEllisChevy.com, or better yet, stop by on Peachtree Industrial just inside the perimeter. Find new roads to better savings at Jim Ellis Chevrolet. And since it's where I bought my new Silverado, please tell them Scott Slade sent you.
At 6:25, Doug Turnbull, WSB. How about this? I-20 is almost delay-free now on both sides of town, heading out to the suburbs. 78 eastbound is cleaning up by the minute, still jammed in Memorial Drive to East Park Place. Because of the wet pavement near the airport, 75 is still struggling below Cleveland Avenue in waves down to Forest Parkway, but then it's fine in Henry County. 85 south also a bit slow down to Flat Shoals, but Alex Williams is found new trouble downtown at the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Yeah, WSB Jam Cam shows a crash involving some sort of a commuter bus. It's on the left shoulder, 75-85 southbound around 10th Street. That's keeping your ride slow out of Midtown, with 85 south still slow throughout the Georgia 400. Delays on the connector southbound continue down to I-20. Doug?
And we've just flown over I-285. All lanes are reopened. 285 south at Glenwood, but you're still jammed back to Peachtree Industrial. Triple team traffic. More on that next to WSB.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. Them's the phone number. It is 27 after the hour. I suppose for all of us in the Atlanta area, it would be a good thing if I checked the radar. Everything's starting to fizzle out. Inside the perimeter south of I-20, you got some rain. Between 75 and 85 on the south side, you got some rain. South of Sonoya, it gets heavier. North of the city, the Woodstock, Holly Springs, Canton area has a little bit of rain. Otherwise, you're good. It's not like it was this morning. Disney has decided to stop letting Netflix run its movies effective 2019. They're still going to be able to run Marvel TV shows off ABC and whatnot, but the Marvel superhero movies, nope. The Pixar movies, nope. The Disney movies, nope. Not going to do it because Disney wants its own service. Y'all, I hope Disney fails at this. They also want to do an ESPN service. And I don't wish Disney ill. I don't own stock in Disney. And I don't wish them ill, but this is just dumb. How many services can people pay for? You got to pay for HBO if you want to watch Game of Thrones and the HBO stuff. You got to pay for Netflix to watch the Netflix stuff. Now you're going to have to pay the Disney stuff. You got to pay the Hulu stuff. You got to pay the Amazon stuff. People can't afford all of these streaming services. They just can't. You're going to exile all the Disney movies to a Disney ghetto and expect everybody to pay for them. I don't think people are going to do that. I don't think you're going to find as many people willing to do it. It is a business decision. God bless them for trying it. I hope they fail. I really do, because I am not buying another stinking streaming service in my house. I have enough already, and I'm not going to do one for Disney. I'm just not. Let Netflix keep all the Marvel TV series, though, please.
Here's a question for you. Have you ever purchased a new vehicle for $12,000 off MSRP? That's unheard of, right? Well, you're hearing it now, and if you want to, you can right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC. Doug Turnbull here at Jim Ellis Buick GMC is clearing the decks off of all 2017 models with model year-end event offers like this. Listen, $12,000 off MSRP on 40 Buick Enclaves, and I just sat in one. It is nice. You need to go down and pick out your color, okay? They'll go quick. Example, Enclave stock number BE1511's MSRP is $46,080, but after rebates and discounts, sale price is only $34,080. Just add TAVT and state fees, and for details on this model year-end event offer and many more, go to JimEllisBuickGMC.com, or better yet, stop by either Jim Ellis Buick GMC location, Highway 20 at the Mall of Georgia, or on Peachtree Industrial just inside the perimeter. At Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Tell them Turnbull sent you.
This is Atlanta's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic. News 95.5 and AM 750. WSB. Atlanta's news starts now.
At 6:30, I'm Chris Chandler, live from the WSB 24-hour news center, starting to get reaction now from some of the other country music greats to the death today of Glenn Campbell, who's died at the age of 81 at his home in Nashville. Campbell had announced in 2011 that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Here's Dolly Parton late this afternoon.
Glenn Campbell was special because he was so gifted. Glenn is one of the greatest voices that ever was in the business, and he was one of the greatest musicians. He was a wonderful session musician as well. A lot of people don't realize that, but he could play anything, and he could play it really well. So he was just extremely talented.
Campbell's biggest hit was Rhinestone Cowboy. He sold more than 45 million records and had 12 gold albums. 71 degrees on Peachtree Street at 6:31. WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish has our exclusive 5-day forecast coming up. Now, Triple Team Traffic, Doug Turnbull.
We sent out a traveler's advisory via our Triple Team Traffic Alert tab with this trouble 285 south, the Inner Loop at Glenwood. It's now open. It still takes about 30 minutes to get there around for Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. What's up with the Outer Loop? Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Well, actually getting better. Budget about 30 minutes. 285 westbound from Georgia 400 down to I-20. Once you get below I-20, just going to stop and go out to the airport. How's the downtown ride? Alex Williams.
Looking at WSB Jam Cam, Hero unit pulling up behind this crash we just told you about. 7585 southbound, south of 10th Street, keeping the ride slow out of northeast Atlanta. 7585 northbound, it's a speed limit ride now, leaving I-20 up towards Brookwood. Triple Team Traffic, WSB.
U.S. intelligence has concluded that North Korea has produced a nuclear warhead small enough to fit atop a ballistic missile. Pentagon reporter David Martin says this is a major step forward for Pyongyang's nuclear